This weekend is the biggest event of the wrestling year, basically, Wrestlemania. It's happening in Dallas, and it's kind of funny when people say, "Oh, hey, that's in Dallas. Hey, you live in Texas. Are you going to go there?" Dude, it's a 4-hour drive. Besides, all the hotels are almost certainly booked up. And besides, I can just watch it from the comfort of the couch with my husband, because we get the WWE network. This subtle plug will hopefully inoculate me from any copyright infringements from the WWE. But one of the most interesting parts of this weekend, of course, is already occurring as I'm recording this. It's the NXT Texas Takeover, which is the Friday night of Wrestlemania weekend. Don't tell me how the matches go. I'm going to watch them myself tomorrow. Yeah, it should be pretty good. You've got Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. And this match was basically triggered by this great moment here. Oh yeah. Doing alright. Career's going great. Things could not be better. Oh! I am not proud of how much I have laughed at that clip. Something about people being just knocked completely out of frame always tickles me to death. And of course that was Baron Corbin doing the knocking out of frame. So they'll be battling at WrestleMania. Corbin is just a major heel, meaning he seems to hate everybody, respects only himself, just, the classic bad guy. I don't think that makes Austin Aries the good guy, though, simply because it's hard to really give a whole lot of credit to a dude who has described himself as the greatest man who ever lived. So I think it's going to be a battle of dueling egos in this ring, and I kind of don't care who wins as long as at least one of them gets the crap kicked out of him. Yeah. We also have tag team American Alpha versus the Revival. I don't know, man. I know the Revival are pretty much obvious heels, because anyone compared to American Alpha is probably going to be a heel. I don't find them that compelling as characters. I have a hard time telling them apart. And, they're up against American Alpha, which contains a former Olympian wrestler. Chris Gable is petite, but he is a powerhouse. And Jason Jordan, I think his name is, his partner, is really developing well as a classically trained wrestler. And it's always so interesting to me to see the different approaches that people have in their journey to NXT. Some of them started wrestling in the backyard, some of them came from another sport altogether, but some, like Gable and Jordan, learned how to wrestle classic Greco-Roman style in high school and then college, and in Gable's case, the Olympics. And I guess I like to see that knowledge of a classic sport, because, it's, I don't know, I just appreciate the technical knowledge behind it. So I am, of course, cheering for American Alpha for this one, and really hope they win, although the Revival keep winning matches. So, we'll see. Sami Zayn is going to be fighting the Asian Mickey Rourke. Okay. This guy, Nakamura, is the master of strong style wrestling, which is big in Japan. From what I can tell, it's kind of like Asuka's wrestling style, with basically a lot of strikes, a lot of punches and kicks. So it's almost leaning towards mixed martial arts, but not quite. But yeah, this should be a pretty good match. I would like to learn more about Japanese wrestling styles, and also the Japanese wrestling circuit, because a lot of really good American and Western, I guess, wrestlers sort of developed there, and generally they're really good when they come back over to WWE stateside. The men's title is on the line, a match between Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. Now, I've seen Balor beat Joe, I've seen Joe beat Balor. All I know is I would not want to be in the ring with Samoa Joe. And I'm plenty big, mean, angry, and can certainly hold my own in a battle against a heavy bag, but I would not take on Joe. Balor, I might be able to land a punch or two, but not Joe. So, again, another very interesting match to watch, but for my money, the main event is going to be the women's title match. Bayley versus Asuka. Oh, it's going to be good. Their styles are so different, but I can't wait to see how they counter each other and how, you know, they work with or against each other. I think it's going to be a great match. So to my mind, that is the main event for the Friday Takeover. In the Mania itself, there are some matches that I'm interested in and some that I could. One of them is AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Again. These two. I got nothing against AJ Styles. He seems like a pretty good, competent wrestler, also from Japan. I do wish he'd do something different with that hair. Chris Jericho, I understand that he was just amazing in his heyday, but I haven't. My experience of him has been watching him interrupt the New Day in his return segment. The chant of Y2J, which just strikes me as a little bit embarrassing. And he just won't stop talking about himself. Now, I've also seen him as a guest on Hollywood Game Night, and he was delightful. So, I recognize, obviously, the character versus the actual dude. But I kind of don't care who wins this one. Sorry. I do care who wins the Kalisto versus Ryback match because I'm a huge Kalisto fan. I love that he's so small, and yet he can just do amazing stuff. I want Kalisto to retain his belt, and I think he's got a pretty good chance of doing so because Ryback might have, you know, he's big and bulky, the big guy, but he doesn't have the flexibility or the speed, I think, to defeat Kalisto. And, you know, I think Kalisto knows this, and he'll just, you know, climb him like a spider monkey the way he does a lot of the other big guys, and it will be great. So that's one match I'm looking forward to. The Usos versus the Dudleys. Again, maybe it's because I sort of came to wrestling fandom within the past year, but I just don't get the appeal of the Dudleys. I just don't. They just seem kind of cranky and not very nice, and also they kind of turned on the Usos on a dime because the Usos used tables in a match a couple months ago. I'm not a Dudley fan. I don't get the appeal. So, of course, you know, I want the Usos to win this because, if nothing else, they have charm and charisma, like their cousin The Rock. But not so much. Somehow Roman Reigns missed out on the charisma gene in that family. It's really quite a shame. We'll talk more about him later. There is a 10-person women's match. Team Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. I just kinda don't care about this one either. I'd be happy with anyone winning and anyone losing, to be perfectly honest. Although, you know, I really wish we could see more wrestling from Alicia Fox. She didn't really register with me until she was in the ring, I guess, or near the ring, supporting Brie Bella in a match, and Brie Bella got the crap kicked out of her by Charlotte or something, and Alicia picked up Brie Bella and carried her like you would a 3-year-old out of the ring and into the backstage area, and I'm like, did anyone else see that? Did anyone else see that, like, superhuman strength she just showed? Why have you been hiding this talent? So, yeah, I guess in a sense I do have one dog in this fight, and that is Alicia Fox, who is not a dog, but a fox who is not a hound. Anyway, there's also Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. Now, this match supposedly will determine who gets to control Monday Night Raw. If it means I won't have to hear Stephanie McMahon yammering on in the ring, then I do want to see Shane win. I didn't see him wrestle when he was in his heyday, and I'm not sure I've ever seen The Undertaker wrestle, although bless his heart. Bless his heart. You know, Vince McMahon has said that if The Undertaker doesn't win this match, he'll be fired. And I can't help but think The Undertaker's thinking to himself, please release me, master. Look at him. That guy should be on a beach somewhere, sipping a margarita, getting a deep tissue massage to repair all the damage wrestling has done to his body. It seems almost cruel to ask him to wrestle again. And, I don't know, I feel like there's not a whole lot of motivation for The Undertaker to win. And last Monday, Shane did a rather amazing stunt. Check out this jump. I'm not sure he actually hit The Undertaker, but the jump itself is really impressive. So, yeah, sure. Yeah, go Shane. There is also a 7-man throwdown for the Intercontinental title. You got Zack Ryder, Stardust, Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Sin Cara, and The Miz, all competing for the Intercontinental title. I find Kevin Owens to be a petulant, spoiled baby man, so I would love to see him lose this title, except I know he'll complain about it for months to come and throw little tantrums all over the ring, so I don't know, maybe it's better for everyone if we let the baby keep his belt. But I wouldn't mind seeing Dolph Ziggler win. He's another one of these classically trained wrestlers whose technique I'm really impressed by. The rest of them... and speaking of multi-participant matches, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale will be part of Wrestlemania, and the wrestlers who have declared they will enter this match are Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, The Big Show, Kane, Tyler Breeze, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Damian Sandow, Darren Young, Connor and Victor from The Ascension, Goldust, R-Truth, Pitbull, man, he pops up everywhere, doesn't he? Jack Black is Nacho Libre, Meryl Streep, she's good in anything, the entire German cabinet, and inexplicably Andre the Giant himself, despite having been deceased for quite some time. Should be a good match. The 3 top matches, I suppose, are Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred street fight. I have seen various weaponry being bandied about by Dean, not so much by Brock, but mostly by Dean over the past few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what actually comes out during the ring. You know, for my money, Brock Lesnar's greatest weapon is Paul Heyman. He is the best hype man in the business. Lesnar almost never speaks, and I think the reason for that is that his voice doesn't necessarily match his physique. I mean, look at him. You'd expect him to communicate in a series of grunts and strikes. But then he opens his mouth to talk on those rare occasions, and he sounds perfectly reasonable. He sounds like he should be leading, a corporate seminar of some sort. Today we'll discuss how to get the most from your bond diversification. Also, I will put Dean Ambrose in the hospital. It's such an interesting mismatch of voice and physique. There's a women's triple threat match between Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. And actually, seeing their hair colors together makes me think of Trick cereal back when it was just 3 colors. Memories. Anyway, Charlotte is honestly a really great heel. She can, she's snotty to an infinite degree, and she's got her dad there, who's, a classic heel himself, so it's like a 2-generational exposition. you get the idea. Major heelage. Becky is sort of a classic babyface in that she doesn't seem to have a dark side or much of an ego. Sasha has an ego, and she has the talent to back that up. Sasha might come closest to a diva in terms of the original meaning of the word. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting match, regardless of who wins. I just hope they keep Rick off the apron. I mean, come on, Rick. This is WrestleMania. And of course, the main event for WrestleMania, Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Again, I kind of don't care who wins this one. WWE has been working so hard to put Roman Reigns over. I know that he and Dean, and I want to say another guy, were in a tag team called The Shield. And basically Roman was just a big, strong, handsome guy in the back who never said much. That's really kind of the best role for him. You know, there's no denying he's a classically handsome dude, but just not a compelling talker. It's just really leaden when he speaks, and also he makes it all about him. And he himself is not that entertaining. I'd much rather watch Dean Ambrose blather on about whatever. So I kind of don't care who wins the main men's title. And honestly, I would say that I'm with the... Oh, geez. I left out the most important one. I left out the one match I'm going to be watching, yo. The New Day versus the League of Nations. Now, what's interesting is the New Day are, of course, freaking hilarious. But the League of Nations have started to embrace their funny side as well. So this could be a really entertaining tag team match with the League of Nations taking, you know, the different personas. Like Rusev is absolutely the heavy. King Barrett is kind of doofy. Alberto Del Rio is obviously the vain, preening peacock. Speaking of which, sir, could you please either retire those gold lame briefs or wear a dance belt or something, because I have seen outlines of things I do not need to see outlines of. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on WrestleMania. Basically looking forward to the NXT matches that are mostly completed by now because I recorded this video super late. And of course, the New Day battling the League of Nations. So I hope you enjoy WrestleMania, and I hope there's something in it to surprise all of us. Have a great weekend, y'all. Happy wrestling.